If you find someone who makes you smile, who checks up on you often to see if you're okay, who watches out for you and wants the best for you, who loves and respects you, don't let them go. People like that are hard to find. Don't bend, don't water it down, don't try to make it logical, don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen, simply wait, be quiet, still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked, it has no choice, it will roll in ecstasy at your feet. We live in an age which is so possessed by demons, that soon we shall only be able to do goodness and justice in the deepest secrecy, as if it were a crime. I never wish to be easily defined. I'd rather float over other people's minds as something strictly fluid and non-perceivable, more like a transparent, paradoxically iridescent creature rather than an actual person. People label themselves with all sorts of adjectives. I can only pronounce myself as nauseatingly miserable beyond repair. I'm tired, can't think of anything and want only to lay my face in your lap, feel your hand on my head and remain like that through all eternity. There are times when I am convinced I am unfit for any human relationship. If the literature we are reading does not wake us, why then do we read it? A literary work must be an ice axe to break the sea frozen inside us. If you become involved with me, you will be throwing yourself into the abyss. I write differently from what I speak differently from what I think differently from the way I ought to think, and so it all proceeds into deepest darkness. In a way, you are poetry material, you are full of cloudy subtleties I am willing to spend a lifetime figuring out. Words burst in your essence and you carry their dust in the pores of your ethereal individuality. Just because your doctor has a name for your condition, doesn't mean he knows what it is. The truth is always an abyss. One must, as in the swimming pool, dare to dive from the quivering springboard of trivial everyday experience and sink into the depths, in order to later rise again, laughing and fighting for breath, to the now doubly illuminated surface of things. I am constantly trying to communicate something incommunicable, to explain something inexplicable, to tell about something I only feel in my bones and which can only be experienced in those bones. Basically it is nothing other than this fear we have so often talked about, but fear spread to everything, fear of the greatest as of the smallest, fear, paralyzing fear of pronouncing a word, although this fear may not only be fear but also a longing for something greater than all that is fearful. I want in fact more of you. In my mind I am dressing you with light, I am wrapping you up in blankets of complete acceptance and then I give myself to you. I long for you, I who usually long without longing, as though I am unconscious and absorbed in neutrality and apathy, really, utterly long for every bit of you. Last night I dreamed about you. What happened in detail I can hardly remember, all I know is that we kept merging into one another. I was you, you were me. Finally you somehow caught fire. I have no memory for things I have learned, nor things I have read, nor things experienced or heard, neither for people nor events. I feel that I have experienced nothing, learned nothing, that I actually know less than the average schoolboy, and that what I do know is superficial, and that every second question is beyond me. I am incapable of thinking deliberately, my thoughts run into a wall. I can grasp the essence of things in isolation, but I am quite incapable of coherent, unbroken thinking. I can't even tell a story properly, in fact, I can scarcely talk. Isolation is a way to know ourselves. I wanted to escape the unrest, to shut out the voices around me and within me, so I write.